Hey, John, we're back again after VMworld, and I'm slowly breaking that habit of Rockstar and chocolate-covered espresso beans. I think I've only had two and a half pots of coffee so far this morning. How are you doing post VMworld?
Doing well. I think I'm slowly recovering. Like you, I'm coming down off of that coffee high. Having to support the hands-on labs 24/7 and a global event was a little challenging, but
It
fun.
was. It was definitely fun as well. We had about 75, 72 hours worth of straight content there. I think I got about 3 hours worth of sleep, but a whole lot of excitement. For those of you that don't know who I am, I'm one of your Odyssey MC hosts here, Mike O'Reilly. But my day job is that I am a staff SE solution engineer covering healthcare customers for VMware. Deal a lot with healthcare insurance companies. John, I know we're part of an all-volunteer army here with some great technical support behind us, but maybe tell us a little bit about what you do for VMware.
Yeah, definitely. So, Mike, like you, I'm a longtime VMware guy. Been here for about 15 years, and I cover the IBM Global Account team from a field CTO perspective. So, my day job is technical guidance and working with IBM on the many fronts that they are focused on. So, uh, very exciting and glad to get back to that role. We've also got Sonny and Michael here
Our
that are
field
volunteers that
reporters, all
help create the
right.
content. What was that, Mike? I missed it.
I said our field reporters, the
That's
guys that are
right.
down there in the trenches, they're doing everything, as far as hands-on labs go. I usually help run the help desk. So I kind of see the back end operations and make sure that we've got a smooth operation. But in order to get everything up and running, we've got Michael and Sonny here. Sonny, you want to start us off? Maybe give us a little intro to yourself there?
Sure. My name is Sunny Nguyen. I'm a technical account manager for VMware. I've only been here for 2 years, but for the Odyssey lab, I was involved in the AV networks and the NSXT portion.
Excellent. And then we've also got Michael. Michael, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. I'm Michael Fleischer. I'm a core solutions engineer here at VMware, based outside of Philadelphia. And I was the captain of the TKG lab, which was the final of the Odyssey tournament.
Mike, it's great to hear from our VMware guys, but we have a guest of honor here
We
with us.
absolutely do.
Yeah. Nick, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Nick Morgowitz. I work as a infrastructure engineer in the Southeast Michigan area, and I've been doing IT for over 25 years. I started really young. I was an intern at 15, and I began my journey in Unix and kind of progressed my career spanning everything from networking, Windows administration, storage, and ultimately, eventually, now across the VMware stack.
Fantastic.
Awesome. Sounds like you've been working with our stack for quite a while there. I know that I helped start creating these hands-on labs about 16 years ago. John was there helping me slightly after that. But maybe give us a little bit of the history of your involvement. I see you've got that awesome Letterman jacket on. I mean, we might have to get you a V to go on that because you're, lettering in VMware there. How'd you find out about Odyssey and VMworld and so on, and getting involved in the Odyssey Challenge?
Well, surprisingly, last year was the first time that I attended VMworld. I had been kind of an outsider looking in for a very long time, but due to projects and a number of other things in the jobs that I've had in the past, it was always challenging for me to find the time to actually make my way over there. But last year, there was a little lull, and my work gave me the okay, and so I went. And the Odyssey challenge itself, it was a little surprise. I didn't really plan on attending, but the concept of it sounded really interesting, because I like to learn a lot about a lot, and hearing that there's a competition that could test your timing on the things that you know that span a number of different sectors, it really piqued my interest, and I wanted to participate. So last year, it was an incredible opportunity, and it was really great to be one of the first folks to have a chance to try it out, right? to see what happens when you take the hands-on labs and then you put a bunch of challenges around it and give the engineers a chance to really do their best in the best time that they can. And where it's come in the last year has also been really surprising. Everybody's dealing with COVID, and working from home has introduced a lot of challenges to a lot of different teams, and it makes it difficult for us just to do our jobs and to learn new things. And so for you guys to put on the hands-on labs, to organize VMworld, it was a success in so many different ways, and it exceeded my expectations. The conference was done extremely well. I learned personally a lot, and I think one of the things that kind of drove me to learn more was the Odyssey Challenge. And I think for those of just anybody that's watching this right now, being able to have an idea on what to learn, but also to perform your best, I think is incredible. And prior to VMworld, my experience with Kubernetes was extremely low. I do have experience with NSXT, but not the new features. I have experience with vSAN, but not the new features. And by going through this Odyssey challenge, it forced me to learn the new things about the new software and learn them very well using the hands-on labs. And so now that I've gone through all of this stuff, I can actually go to my employer and say, hey guys, look at all these new features of vSAN. Look at how TKG plugs into, this, and look at all the new features that NSX offers with this advanced load balancer. Things that I would not have been able to know without this Odyssey challenge.
That's great. One thing that I like to understand about your experience is the hands-on labs are great, like you mentioned, for learning that technology. Do you use the hands-on labs outside of just the Odyssey competition, or is it a way for you to pick up some of the new technologies? How do you use the hands-on labs?
So me personally, I don't know if I'm kind of an outlier, but I have a home lab at home, and my wife's not too happy about it because power bill and noise and stuff. But a lot of the learning I do personally, I do on my own time, and I prefer that personally because the easiest way for me to learn is to break stuff and to fix it, and to deploy my own solutions using a lot of the new technologies that are available. But I can't do everything at home, whether it's because of limitations in RAM or even just limitations in the amount of time that I have to put something together. So I do use the hands-on lab to learn things that either would be too time consuming to set up on my own at home, or things that I think could benefit me in some way, whether it's talking about a new technology and its benefits to leadership at work, and understanding some of the new features that I could pose to the business in ways of either optimizing time or in processes that are currently in place.
Excellent. Well, Mike and crew, I think we've got about 5 minutes left. Do we have any pressing questions that we Nick here?
I have one. So Nick, for this Odyssey challenge, which was your favorite lab? Was it vSphere, vSAN, NSX, or Tanzu?
So I would have to say it was probably the TKG, and only because it was extremely challenging for me personally. And I love a good challenge. And I think the thing that stood out for me in that last module was that you needed to understand the hands-on lab, but then you also needed to know how to apply that in practice. So in the prep work, they had us study just TKG and understand how to expand workloads and things like that. But the thing that I think tripped up a lot of people was the application of TKG and Docker. And I think most engineers that work with Kubernetes know that Docker is a critical piece of Kubernetes as a whole, but maybe they don't have the experience with Docker, or maybe I'm not sure. But I loved it because I do have experience with Docker, and going into TKG, I didn't really know too much, as I mentioned, but I think it makes a lot of sense in how it works and how VMware layered their TKG on top of Docker. So it really showed me that anyone that is comfortable enough using containers, even if it's in a personal setting or in a small scale at their corporation, that it would not take very much additional time to learn the pieces of TKG to plug it in to make it a lot more versatile.
Great answer. That last question is a curveball, so I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, we did see some interesting challenges come up. There were a lot of people that, in the time and skill, they got tripped up with the skill at the end there. I think we've got time for about one question. Sonny, did you have a quick question for Nick?
Yeah, definitely. Would you recommend, based on your experience already with Odyssey, would you recommend folks trying out Odyssey, and will you compete next year, actually?
I think the Odyssey Challenge is an incredible opportunity for anybody that can try out for it. I highly recommend it, if only just to test your own skills. But the biggest thing that I got from it is being able to grow my own skills and to take those skills back to show my employer, here are the things that you can do with all of the new things that VMware is offering. And I've never experienced anything, whether it's a hands-on lab, whether it's training that can give you the real world scenarios that Odyssey does. And I think being able to put these challenges together, I give all of you guys, a big round of applause, because it was great. It was, real world questions for engineers to solve, and to solve as quickly as possible. So to answer the question about will I try again next year, I'm going to keep on trying as long as you guys let me. It was a blast. I had a really, really good time.
Well, that's awesome. We are really looking forward to having you back, two-time winner in Odyssey. So looking forward to you being able to try for that triple crown there. And hopefully we're able to be in person for VMworld 2021. I'd invite anybody that's out there to try out the hands-on labs or even some of our Odyssey challenges that are out there by going to the VMworld.com content catalog, or to the hands-on labs site at HOL, as in handsonlabs.vmware.com, and take a look at all those labs. But once again, congratulations, Nick, for winning a second year in a row podium placement there with Odyssey. And we do look forward to seeing you again next year.
Thank you all.